here tonight at the Hyatt for the Kenyan Ball, a very important annual event which has brought a lot of community members and high-profile people, including the High Commissioner for Kenya. We came along tonight to see the networking and the wonderful community atmosphere.
This is the first time in a year where we sit down and let our hair down. And also, you know how it is, Perth is north and south. Everybody come together and let their hair down and relax. So this is one of the night. We will call it like Academy of Adult Kenyans in a community.
How important is an event like this from tonight?
Well, it's very important because it brings together most of the Kenyans who live in Western Australia. Secondly, it helps link the wider Australian community with the Kenyans who live here. And thirdly, it helps bring Kenyan officials, including the High Commissioner and the staff, to interact with the Kenyans who live here. We also have the Australian High Commissioner to Kenya attending the same function. So it's a very useful forum for the people who live in Kenya to interact with the government representatives on both sides. Remember, these are Kenyans and they're also Australians.
My name is Isaiah Kabera. I'm the High Commissioner of Kenya to Australia and New Zealand. Kenya and Australia have very strong relations. Australia has had its mission in Kenya for the last 50 years. Kenya opened its mission in Canberra 33 years ago. Our relations between Kenya and Australia have grown from strength to strength. And I'm happy that we are seeing increased trade, increased tourism arrivals from Australia to Kenya. We are seeing more investments, especially in the area of mining. The biggest company that has invested in Kenya's mining sector is a company based in Perth, Base Resources. We've invested over $300 million. So we are happy about the relations between Kenya and Australia.
What sort of flow-on does this have within Kenya?
Well, it's creating jobs, creating employment. And every time that an Australian has a cup of tea here or a cup of coffee from Kenya, that creates employment for our people. Every time that an Australian tourist visits Kenya, that's creating a job opportunity for our people. So we are happy that the relations have seen the creation of opportunities for our people back home.
And on a daily basis in Canberra, what sort of day do you have?
Well, as a diplomat, it's a usual job, a lot of administrative work that you have to do, a lot of report writing, attending a lot of meetings with the Department of Foreign Affairs and Trade, meeting with my colleagues, fellow diplomats. But above all, is really meetings that enhance bilateral relations, meeting with people who want to invest in Kenya, meeting with the Kenyans who want to trade with Australia. And of course, at the end of the day, represent Kenya at forums where be they receptions or meetings or conferences. So it's a full day.
Yes. And do you find that Australia is becoming more knowledgeable?
Yes. I think Australians now have a better understanding of Africa. And Africans are also having a better understanding of Australia, especially because of the many Kenyans who are coming to study here in Australia. That has really helped inform the people of Australia more about our country. Of course, there's always room for people to know more, study more about our two nations. But I'm happy that the Kenyan diaspora here in Australia have been the best ambassadors that my country could ever have. Yes.
Are there particular aspects that you are continuing to work on?
Yes, especially education ties and agriculture. I think Australia is a country that has been very good at being food self-sufficient despite being a water-scarce country. Farming in very arid and semi-arid areas. So Kenya is looking to apply Australian smart technology so that we also increase our food production. So we are happy that we have the ASEAR and a research institution that is Australian-based and Australian-funded, that is based in Kenya, that is trying to transfer knowledge to our farmers to ensure that we also apply smart technologies to have better farming techniques.
How would you like Australians to understand Kenyans? What would be the main message?
Well, one, Kenya is the cradle of mankind. We know that the oldest fossil ever found around the world is the Turkana boy. And we are happy that we are the cradle of mankind. But above all, we want Australians to know that we are a country not just of great runners or great sports people, but we are also a country that has a youthful population, a vibrant population that is very innovative. We are a people who are leading in the digital revolution, and we are happy that as Kenyans, a lot of the innovations that we have made, for example, money transfer services or across the mobile telephone the platform, that is a Kenyan innovation, and we're happy that it's been spread around the world. Yes.
How do you see the future?
The future is definitely very strong. We continue to work with the Australian government to ensure that we have stronger ties, especially in trade, tourism, education, health, and also in security. We have a common Indian Ocean that is rich. We need to tap into the blue economy. We need to secure the trade routes of the Indian Ocean. So Australia and Africa share a common rich reservoir called the Indian Ocean, and we need to tap into it more to increase trade opportunities and investment opportunities.
What would you like to say to your Kenyan community in Australia?
I want to tell them thank you very much for being the true ambassadors of our country, Kenya. I want to thank them for being disciplined people, people who have a good work attitude, people who have embraced the Australian ways in many ways. So I want to commend them and tell them I'm happy to. It's always a good opportunity to meet with them and interact with them. Yes.
And to encourage Australians to go to Kenya?
Oh yes, definitely. We want to build on the numbers. We have up to 40,000 Australians in good years going to Kenya. In the last 6 months, we have seen a 20% increase in the number of Australians visiting Kenya. So please welcome, come and see the great home of the runners, the good rugby players, and above all, we are the cradle of mankind.
Thank you very much, High Commissioner.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
My name is Joe Twazama. I'm the president of Organization of African Community of Western Australia.
Can you tell us about your community?
The Organization of Western Australia sits as the peak body for the African community in the States. We are here to help bring the African community together. In Africa, there are so many countries, and here in Australia, we sit as the mother body working along with all those countries so that we can have a united voice and approach to issues affecting the African community instead of going as a small country or as a single country. So the Organization of African Community was established some years ago, and we got the executive that constitute people from all over Africa, and it has been a very successful organization since its establishment. And the Kenyan community has been one of the organizations we work with over the years. And a couple of our executives also come from Kenya. That's why we are here tonight to celebrate with them.
And how are you finding the relationship between the Kenyan community and Australia?
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. I've been here for 10 years, and every time we have a function, we normally have the representative from the Kenyan Australian government. So we have a very cohesive and friendly relationship with the Western Australian government and federal government as well.
How important is it to get the community together?
It is very important because the community needs to socialize with one another and appreciate the diversity of people in different societies coming together, enjoy like you can see tonight. And people are very happy about it.
How many Kenyans are in Western Australia?
We have around the last census, I'm going to quote, that was 20,000. But now we have census which is just going on at the moment. I believe that will be double. Yes.
And how would you say the Kenyans contribute to the community within Western Australia?
A lot in different ways. In education, there's quite a lot of Kenyans here as students in Western Australia. It's a good revenue to the Australian government. And also recently we had Miss Africa Perth. We're contributing a lot to that. And secondly, we more or less like we are the face of Kenya into Australia, and Australia is happy because we have a very good bilateral relationship.
How would you like to see more activity of Kenyans within the community?
We like to see more Kenyans participating, more other Africans, and actually the multilinguistic nationals in different parts of the world who are in Australia to join hands. Because look here, the nation is made by different multicultural groups. As you know, Australia, it's quite a lot of migrants here. Australia is founded by multicultural groups or immigrants. So definitely we're happy to be dwelling among them and enjoying the hospitality that the Australian government is offering us.
My name is Stephen Kuria. I'm the chairman of Kenya Australian Chamber of Commerce and the Kenya Community Board of Governors. So I hold two. Kenya enjoy Perth. Perth is a lovely place. You can see we really enjoy and they feel as much as a part of this community. As you know, a broom and Africa is the only place they have baobab tree. So we believe that we are connected at one stage in lifetime. Yeah, so this is home as well as home is in Kenya.
And how do you find the economic community within Perth?
Majority of Kenyans are in nursing and we have 200 working in mining. If I take from the chamber side, it's been very progressive. We just launched it in Nairobi, which we have a chapter for Kenya Australian Chamber there. And we have people communicating all over the states, not just from WA, but we're talking about all the eastern states. And it's going pretty well. We are seeing business happen life to life, day to day. And that's what we wanted. My vision was to see, since I've been here for a long time, and every time I tell Australians to go to Kenya, they think it's too far. I tell Kenyans to do the same. But now we're seeing with the technology that people can talk. In terms of community here, what we see is that we have progress. We used to have students come in. We still have students, but we have tier levels. Now we have students, we have people who are working, which we call them professionals. But now we start seeing business people come to fruition, myself and many others. And that's our vision, is that where we sit and say Kenyan community come together, We have Corinne Barnett, who was my lecturer at Curtin, come and attend. I'm organizing African Oil and Gas Conference, which we have ministers from Kenya, Zanzibar, and also Bill Mamin from Australia attending as well. So we are getting there. And the vision is that we'll be in a stage where we look ourselves and say, okay, it's like in US, we are the birth of Obama, so we want to have the same thing in Australia.
Can anyone name the big five? The big five animals found in Africa. The big five, please. Put your hand up, and they're gonna get a prize from Miss Africa. So we've got one hand. No, you don't qualify. You are the president. We've got a hand there. We've got a hand there. Can you please name the big five, and they're gonna get a prize?
Cheetah, lion, elephant, and leopard.
No, that's a big fail. He's named the cheetah. Anyone else?
Australians like people who work hard, and we are hard worker. We share a couple of things in common. We like to have our beer, and we also like to work hard, and we do that. And Australians receive anybody who put their work very well. I've worked for BHP, Barrick, Newmont, KCGM, all the mining company. I've never had a challenge. I've read organizations. We now work for Woodside, and no one says you're Kenyan, you can't do it. So if you go to other countries, it might be a challenge of your color or where you come from. I don't see that here, and we have overcome that over the years.
Lion, elephants, rhinoceros, buffalo, and people.
Now we need someone else. Amel, please. Okay.
We have elephant, lion, hippopotamus, buffalo.
She's missed one. We'll get someone else.
The lion, the rhinoceros, the elephant, leopard, and buffalo.
Yeah, he's got all of them. Applause for him, please. Where is Shiko? Shiko, please. You deserve a prize. Okay. So next question. I'm gonna ask one of my good friends to ask the question tonight. Mr. Bendros, can you please ask question number 3?
My name is Paul Odhiambo Odongo. I am a Kenyan living in WA. I've been in WA for 16 years. I came here as a weightlifter for Kenya. I'm still the strongest guy in that country today, 20 years later. But I've amalgamated into the Australian Society and still volunteer to help Organization of African Communities. And I also volunteer with my Kenyan community as the event coordinator.
How did you end up coming here as a heavy weightlifter?
I got a scholarship to come to compete preparing for the Sydney Olympics in 1999. And I was in Canberra at the AIS, trained there for about 3-4 months. Then had to go back to Kenya to represent Kenya in All African Games, South Africa 99. Then I headed back here in Sydney Olympics 2000. And just a few weeks before, I had an injury, so I could not compete. But then I ended up staying in Australia because I met my beautiful wife here, and I have 3 kids with her, and I'm a family man, and I'm Australianized now. Before it used to be a lot of students, but now we have many of those students have settled here, and it's very important for them to know that the community is there.
Now you've got an award. What is this for?
An achievement for having been a volunteer with a community. Every time they ring me, I'm always my head's open, my hands are open. I'm gonna help them out. My shout out to community is thank you very much for the big team that came in, and it was very successful. And look forward for another next year one, and we like it to be better. The Kenyan community, the people need to know that
We are here, and we are here to live. Many of us used to say, I've got to go back, but we don't go back.
Question, when was the last time the West Coast Eagles won the grand final? When was the last time?
2006.
2006, correct. A big round of applause, please. 2006 was the last time when West Coast Eagles won the grand final.
Look, I want to tell you, Africans, we are very smart people, we are capable people, we are very appreciative. If we can be empowered and trusted here, we can make a very significant contribution to this land, because this is our new home, and it is our responsibility to make it a better place, a safe place for all of us. So I just want to say we need to be trusted, we need to be given the opportunity as equally as everybody, so that we can showcase what we got in us.
So therefore, what would you say to the African community to then say to the Australian community?
Well, what I want to say to the African community is that, look, we need to stop sitting down waiting for everything to work to us. We need to wake up. We need to get on our feet. There are a lot of opportunities in this country, but there are also a lot of challenges. But I can tell them that when you work hard, you can achieve and you can break those barriers. I came here as a refugee, and I've gone to school here. I've graduated school, and I'm doing a professional job today. So I think any other person can do it. And I want to say to the Western Australian government and to the Australian government, we need to be supported, we need to be empowered. This is the first generation of Africans. I think we've done very well than most migrants that have come here over the years. Language barriers, we don't speak English. Some people come from Francophone countries. I come from the country where we speak English, but our English is more American, the American-African kind of English. And you take time to get along, how to know how the Australians speak. So a person that comes from an Arab country or a French country, they need to be supported. The opportunity needs to be made available, and we need to be cherished also and given that support that will lead us to doing what other migrants have done over the years.
Thank you very much.
Kenya is a good place to engage. I mean, it's a good country with which they can engage in trade. It's a useful destination for tourists, particularly those who want to see big game, who also want to see elephants, rhinos, giraffes, leopards, lions. Kenya is a place to go. They realize value for their money.
I want to commend the Kenyan diaspora in Australia for being great ambassadors of our country and of Africa. The presence of so many friends of Kenya here tonight attests to the level of high esteem that Kenyans are held. I want to thank the many Australian companies and individuals who have opened doors of opportunity for the Kenyan people. We do not take it for granted, and we want to say thank you very much. A small clap for all the many Australian companies and firms.
I'm Angela Albuquerque for Perth City Talks.